And here we are. So it's match one. It's a PvP. herO and NightMare, and by all accounts, I mean, this very much should be herO favored, but NightMare's been strong in this matchup recently, and you never know what we're going to find. So game one here, the first set. We're all ready to go, and one lacking thing. There we go. The backdrop's gone. We're totally happy. But yeah, this is an interesting matchup, right? herO, by all accounts, is the favorite. In fact, if we kind of look at our head-to-head here, herO is massively in favor of NightMare. NightMare's only won 2 series in the entirety of Legacy of the Void. I mean, 78% chance to win if you're looking at what a Legilac has to say. So from that perspective, I mean, herO is absolutely the favorite. But the thing we have to point out is that herO has not looked as solid over the last, really in 2023. He was incredible in 2022, right? He won GSL Season 2. He was top 4 Season 3. Top 4 at IEM Katowice. I guess it's 2020. He hasn't been the same since Katowice. He was top 4 at IEM Katowice. He won DreamHack Atlanta. Like, herO 2022 and the 2022-2023 season was absolutely herO's year. And he just really showed us this incredible form. But, I mean, ever since then, it hasn't been the same. He got knocked out, of course, in GSL last season. You know, we haven't been seeing him. I mean, he's been having solid online results. But he didn't make a splash of yawn shipping either. So we're not really seeing quite the same level of herO that we're used to seeing. But of course, NightMare wants to capitalize on that in this game number one. He's proxying on the map, and for the moment, well, I was going to say herO hasn't found it, but the Zealot is going to see what's happening here. That means the pylon gets targeted, but this is just round one of things because, hey, look at that. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's herO's probe on the left side, making sure that there's no gold base, and there isn't. There is no, in fact, gold base for the time being. This is just more dedicated proxy. So the second pylon goes down. And herO does have to be very careful here, right? Because it's a one-gate expand. Technically, he took the gateway on the low ground. And that does make life a little bit more complicated, as now here's going to get scouted out as well here. So the rescout, the follow-up scout to see exactly what's happening, it's a little hard. Let's fix this. There we go. A little hard to get the rescout. So he doesn't quite get to see what's happening. So for now, he's got a probe at the front to be able to wall off fully if it's a depth pressure afterwards. He's got a sentry, he's got a stalker. He has this observer, which is nice. But the key thing here, the thing he's waiting on, is the fact that he's got an immortal that is 2/3 of the way done. And, oh man, immortals against stalkers, especially with Guardian Shield, especially with force fields, are oh so powerful. So second stalker pops out, warp gate's done. And most importantly, well, that immortal is here, but the probe's not even in position, so we're going to see the adepts. They're going to shade on through into the main base, and this is where life starts to get a little bit complicated for herO here. So 3 adepts in the main, 2 adepts warping defensively. There's the third, but workers already starting to fall down. Of course, herO on the other side, he does have a counterattack, and he will try to make that happen as 3 total probes go down. So herO down a little bit. And the important thing here is that this is committed, absolutely, coming from NightMare, but not to the level that it might otherwise have to be. I mean, NightMare already has his natural done. He's up 3 workers, and yeah, he will lose this position on the map eventually. You got to assume, but he does have 2 gateways at home. He's got that robo at home. He really won't be hurting for production all that much. And this is scary. Stalkers now have been able to find their way around, and I don't know that they're going to dive in. I don't know exactly what they're going to find, but no, yeah, they're just going to dive in. They have a recall available to him, so pylons should fall, probes should fall, and actually they're going to find their way up on the high ground before the sentries are done. And this, oh, actually big value here for, oh, no, he's not going to get the warp prism. 1 sentry goes down, force field really doesn't land. Warp prism gets so low, yeah, it's just going to go down even with the shield battery. And the sentries, so expensive in the gas, they're going to fall down here as well for the cost of, what is that, 1 stalker? Yeah, like 1 stalker. Absolutely worthwhile for NightMare. And now herO, his economy a little slower. He lost a warp prism, so that aggression he was looking to put on isn't there anymore. And now the question is what herO can find on the map here. Yeah, you know, he denied a gateway. It's 3 gateways to 2. And I think more importantly, there's no wall here. So these adepts, they can find value, but there's the trick. There you do it. Units don't block shades, but shades block shades, and that is really all that matters. So NightMare prevents the shade in. And herO's really committing to this. With this 3 gateway setup he has, I mean, he's not getting a natural. This is not him going and macroing out of this. It's just not going to happen. He's going all in out of this, and NightMare needs to figure this out. Certainly he does. But now into the main base here, 2 Immortals are going to get brought forward here. Stalker's a little stuck, but force fields aren't going to be where they need. Not yet. Damage, heavy damage on the Immortal, and he gets one of them. NightMare catches the first Immortal here, and that takes so much power out of this aggression. Yes, there are a lot of Adepts. Yes, they can shade on top of, and they're going to do so. They're going to immediately get the sentries. One goes down, second one falls. With the shield battery overcharge here, I mean, this is just not a good fight for herO at all. There's going to be an attempt to shade into the main, but that also doesn't get anything. And now herO, I mean, he's down only a worker. NightMare has cut workers to make sure this defense happens, but the army from NightMare is just better, and it has more static defense. We're going to see that it really happen here. Now, force fields are nice, and that does force some of these stalkers back. So it's even with the compositional advantage that NightMare has, he is struggling to bring it all to bear as one Immortal is going to get picked up, is going to get dropped again. One Immortal getting so low here, NightMare loses it. But all the Adepts are now dead, and the army supply really starting to find their way into herO's favor at this point, or NightMare's favor at this point. And here's the thing. Well, actually, I was going to say, well, no, that's not even true. Both have War Prisms, but it's the shield battery. Just little drips and drabs of energy, or either way, it is making life just that little bit nicer for NightMare. We're going to have that second Immortal get added in very soon. And really the long and short of it here is NightMare's just winning the micro fight. More than anything else, more than Defender's advantage and superior concaves on the micro fight with the Immortal, with the War Prisms. NightMare just wins it. NightMare just looks so good, and herO is going to give up on this game effectively. Yeah, you know, the game's not over, but herO is taking the natural. That is, he's not falling upon his sword, but this is herO realizing this is not going to happen for a while now. He's going to run across the map. Was that 2 Immortals and a Warp Prism? Fair enough, but I mean, he's building 1 probe at a time. NightMare's building 2. herO's natural's only halfway done. The economic advantage that NightMare's going to find out of this herO just backing out. Oh, it's massive. It's incredible. So now, double Immortal drop in the main. I mean, 2 Immortals do 1 shot a probe, so this is one way that herO can attempt to kind of... Actually, in this case, he actually has a worker lead, despite everything. But now here's the double Immortal drop on the other side. And with this long-distance mining, I mean, NightMare's going to feel really good about the position that he's in. Oh, herO loses the Warp Prism. Oh, he loses the Warp Prism, too. This is really not where you want to be. And now, hey, shield battery overcharge pop. Force field dropped, but no value. Warp Prism, half damage. But now NightMare's the one that gets to move out on the map here. He's down a worker. But if you look at economy, there we go. There's the income graph. Or not. We don't have... Oh, no, there we do. It actually did spike to herO for a little bit, but now that is very much not the case. So the Immortals just getting a little bit more, right? Equalizing or finally finding the lead in the worker count, but NightMare's going all in off this. He's had that natural for so long. He's on 28 workers. That's all you need, especially as the main starts to mine out. So Gateway's the immediate victim. Going to be the Cyber Core falling as well. So you lose the Gateway, you lose the Cyber, you lose the ability to A, build as many units, or B, build the right one. So NightMare, he takes game 1. One game already. NightMare's pressure really didn't work out all that much, but the big deal, of course, is that NightMare found a value afterwards. He was able to expand faster, was able to force herO into a position where herO felt like he had to go all in, and it didn't work. herO loses the Warp Prism. He gets, quite frankly, out-microed by NightMare, and now, on Ancient Cistern, we get to see what these players have in store for us in game number 2, and for now, the answer appears to be nothing. At least nothing in particular. We don't see a proxy on the map. There's no gateway going down in the middle. It's too early for a Stargate, but there's nothing like that, and herO's not going to go greedy. herO's not going for the single gate expand we saw in game 1 that did almost invite the pressure that NightMare decided to run against him. So from that perspective, yeah, you know, this game is going a lot more standard. It's 2 gate expand. You get a Cyber behind, But NightMare gets the probe. NightMare, NightMare, NightMare. Incredible. You don't get like that just doesn't happen. Then he pulled just enough probes and herO's goes down, and there we go. But I'm really curious to see what NightMare and herO have in store for us in this game number 2. Why does this bug sometimes? Those names are opposite, by the way. We're looking at NightMare's POV, not herO's, and I don't know. I truly don't. It's like sometimes player 1 is not player 1. Is I guess the story there, but regardless. Natural's now on the way. NightMare is just a little bit faster. herO committing for a couple more early units. In fact, NightMare, insanely greedy with this opening. He didn't open Stalker. He didn't open Adept. No Zealots. He got 1 Sentry. He was a 2-gate opener, but he got 1 Sentry. And then took his Natural. And now there's a couple more Sentries on the way. And, well, I thought I saw more Sentries on the way. And now there's a couple of Adepts on the way. NightMare is just... I mean, look at it. He blocks the Natural of herO. He gets his way. He gets his own. A Sentry opener is a standard, but it's generally Sentry Stalker, something like that. You know, double Stalker into Sentry Stalker. You get units early. But instead, NightMare has gone just... I don't know that you could go greedier. I mean, technically, you could not get anything and get a Nexus. Go like Gateway, Nexus. But, I mean, that just sounds crazy. I mean, this sounds crazy, too. So the question now is whether NightMare can defend it. So we got the Probe patrolling high ground. It's 4 Adepts versus, well, 2 Adepts in a Sentry. But there's a Shield Battery, and Overcharge can't get pops. So these Adepts just won't find their way in yet. They're going to commit to it, and this might force a rewall. It absolutely does. So 3 Adepts versus 4. Probe falls very quickly here. NightMare should be able to clean this up. Even so, losing 3 probes that early. Oh, it's a great shade. Really walls things off at the pass, but even still, 4 workers go down, and herO's up despite NightMare getting this massive, and I mean absolutely massive, timing lead there on the workers. NightMare has also had to cut workers to make this happen. So he finds himself down 6. He's building 2 at a time now, because he got that Stargate afterwards, and because of this pressure coming in from herO, NightMare hasn't been able to take advantage of that much faster Natural. In fact, herO, his Natural's only just now done. But because of this pressure and because of these Adepts, it seems like he will be able to get the punish. And now a Sentry falls. But I love this. Again, the shade. But herO just wiggles his way right on through, even still trading an Adept for an Adept. This should be fine. But herO, he's got inside. He's got first mover's advantage. He's going to be able to find his way into the mineral line again. But this time, no. It's the shade out that's going to happen. And NightMare should clean up the rest of this one with the Oracles on top of things as well. So NightMare doesn't get any damage done with his units. But he does clean everything up. And if we look at resources last year, I mean, herO did have to commit a little more. Not a ton. And it was army for economy. But still just a little bit awkward. And now, of course, herO, with this opener that he's going for, he has got a much faster Twilight. So that means a quicker blink, which we're seeing here. We're going to have to see. Oh, no. herO. Oh, that's fine. There are 3 Stalkers where they need to be. 2 more warping in. So even as we're like, oh, you know, herO and open walls. I mean, name a more iconic duo. He's going to be fine. And it seems like he may wish to go for 4-gate blink off of this. Just really try to put the hammer and tongs to NightMare in this game. But for now, Adept's thinking about going into the Natural with Oracles as well. But there are just too many Stalkers here. So 2 workers fall. But NightMare, he's going to be able to get out with the rest. But even still, maybe not as much. Ooh, Adept's in the main base here. And this is a little bit more promising. NightMare starting to micro around 5 workers. It's going to be 6. I don't think, yeah, it's going to be 6 workers. But hey, that's pretty solid for 3 Adepts. And that puts NightMare solidly, puts him massively in the lead. 41 workers to 29. But here comes the pressure out of herO. He's got 1 gateway done on the map, 2nd gateway finishing. This is 4-gate blink. And there really is not a lot to defend against this. Maybe you use the Oracles for stasis traps, and there we go. Stasis traps starting to fall. Ideally, you bait this out. And actually, I love what NightMare's doing here. Where he's sending an Oracle into the main to drop stasis traps there because he knows there's the opportunity for his opponent to blink into the main and maybe find some value there. You get a sentry, and there we go. But, oh, it's just not quite in position. Stalker's blink forward, and that, no, never mind, it is. Stasis Trap gets half. And that's massive, because you know what's happening right now? NightMare's buying time. He's got a Dark Shrine just about halfway done. And there's no robo for herO. This is just a 4-gate blink all in. Once these DTs come out, unless herO does magic and is able to get just the perfect amount of damage done and just dodges the DTs everywhere, the Dark Templar should really win this game. So now we go. Twilight's done. Fourth gate on the way coming in from NightMare right now, but he's getting out microed. herO just has more stuff here in the natural. And we need to see a Warpin, but I guess we don't have cooldowns just yet. NightMare really focusing on that micro right now, but there come the DTs. One from the main, one from the natural. In fact, actually, it might have just been one. Yeah, Gateway's got depowered. So only one Warpin happened, but even still, the Stalkers have to kite away here. The DT is just worth so much value. So herO, time is limited on this push. He's got a robo on the way. That's fine. This 4-gate all-in is just not going to work out here, and NightMare is still up 9 workers into the natural. The Stalkers go, and that's a great force field. It will buy some time, but this robo's not done, and the DT's on the other side getting, well, soon to be a lot of damage. For now, it's only 3 probes, so NightMare holds on. He blinks forward, doesn't even bother with the pylon. Instead, he's going to get the pylon outside of the main base here, and herO is struggling. He doesn't have value. He can't get much value from the DTs at the front. The proxy gateway can't do much, and yeah, you know, the DT can't find the main. It will eventually get this pylon. It will continue to deny herO's natural base here, and I mean, herO's in some serious trouble. I guess the shield battery overcharge is worth something. But herO's in serious trouble. Like, this is just not a good position to be in whatsoever. He's down only 7 workers at this point, but NightMare's got his 3rd base on the way. He's on 48 because that's full 2-base saturation. He's got his 3rd base on the way. We see a gateway on the map. So NightMare, he's getting ready to hit with 6 gateways. 7 gateways, excuse me, not just the paltry 4 that herO has. 3 gateways, because this gateway is going to get knocked down as well. herO doesn't have the production. He doesn't have the economy. He barely has the tech, so it seems like his response is going to be to try to mirror what NightMare's done. He's going to try to get a Dark Shrine of his own, and I mean, valid, I guess, but NightMare has a Stargate. Right? NightMare has detection that herO really didn't have when that pressure happened, and it's just sentries defending this. So DT's gonna get 3 more. herO's economy continues to be in the dump. It absolutely horrendous economy here. And herO's aware of the gateways. He's gonna try to rotate over and deal with it, I guess. But it's 27 Stalkers to 11. I mean, yeah, you know, NightMare's got to run away with a couple of those. The Warpin has to be aborted here, but this 3rd base is dead. It's just not going to happen. There's absolutely no way, 0 chance that herO holds on to this. So I like the idea of a counterattack as the DT just runs out. I guess the one thing, again, herO has that Dark Shrine just about done, and the Oracles are at home. So if NightMare wants to truly get aggressive, it will be something. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer. We will have to run the Oracles onto the other side, but that also means that these DTs that want to run into the main base, the natural, the 3rd, that wants to find value, well, there's the revelation. DTs immediately go down, and honestly, if I'm herO at this point, I don't know what's keeping me in this game. The DTs died, he lost his 3rd, and yeah, he's going to tap out. NightMare 2-0's herO. And he moves on to the winner's match here of GSL Group B. Now, if of course you liked this, and you want to see more stuff like this, more GSL games, ESL games, Stormgate news, as it happens, analysis, things like that, you should hit the like button. You should subscribe to this channel, and you should tell me just why you thought NightMare was able to take down herO today. I'll catch you next time, because there are always more games. See you then.